Hello and welcome in, everyone. Tonight we are happy to bring another broadcast of the Nexus gaming series. Tonight's match is a Division A Week 5 matchup between Citrus Colored Squash and Boogans Forever. We are doing a best of 3 tonight, and both of our teams are very prompt and ready to go, so let's hop over to the map draft to show everyone what we're playing and what we're not playing. We've got bans onto Braxis and BOE from Citrus Colored Squash, and Boogans Forever banned out Dragonshire and Towers of Doom. I'll just get to the lobby to let them know that we are already out here in TV land. And thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Excited to bring another NGS cast for you all. It's always great to have everyone come out and support these teams. I'm sure they're excited for you to watch them, cheer them on. A little bit of background on Boogans Forever. They have played together since at least Season 6, if not earlier, formerly going by the Boogan Squad moniker. But it is a long-standing team with, I think, at least 1 or 2 members sticking with it all the way until now. And here we are getting into the draft, or Game 1 on Cursed Hollow. Cursed Hollow, a large map, and so controlling global heroes is very important. We'll see how much priority these teams place on the Brightwing, Dahaka, Falstad picks or bans. First ban Anduin out from Boogans Forever, followed immediately by a Lucio ban. So it seems both of our teams are very comfortable with the scouting research they've done, ripping through these bans. That's a Hogger ban for Boogans. And we'll see what Citrus Colored Squash doesn't want to face here. Perhaps another healer ban to further narrow that pool. It's going to be Diablo ban for CCS. And there is the first pick to Haka, immediately securing a global hero. We'll see how CCS responds if they opt for Falstad Johanna. A global of their own, a sturdy tank for the front line in Johanna. A solid draft opening from CCS. Boogans Forever going to take the Anubarak and Rhaegar. And so all of their damage is available for them to flex in this last half of the draft. It might make CCS's bans a little more challenging with how wide that pool is, but the Sylvanas ban comes through. Always a strong hero with her Black Arrows trait. Not surprising to see her, especially in such a generalist role. Of course, that may change. If and when the PTR patch goes live, there are some Sylvanas changes coming in the pipeline. No healer on the side of CCS, likely to see that ban from Boogans. And instead going for the Chromie ban. Chromie with excellent poke on the objective for stalls. Not too surprising to see it banned out. Might be a special from one of our players for CCS. Next two picks here might grab damage and heal and leave there exactly. So it's going to be Brightwing Vala. Another global on the side of CCS. And Vala, a hero that scales well into the late game. Cursed Hollow can go late. Full damage structure available for Boogans. We'll see how they finish off this comp. Something snappy to pair with the engage of a Nubarak. It's going to be leaning Greymane. Looking for those crisp engages and resets. Final pick for CCS, likely to be an offlaner. Blaze is still available and is pretty heavily prioritized across our divisions. It's going to be just that. So let's pop out of the display pop-ups. Oh, that's odd. Try this again. There we are. Taking a look at our two drafts. Double global on the side of the blue team is going to favor them if they want to play those objective stalls. Blaze, an excellent hero for objective stalls. Of course, the crisp engage coming from the side of Boogans might make stalling a challenge. I'll be interested to see how our two backlines match up against each other. Vala puts a lot of pressure onto a Nubarak, but he can do the same to her. Let's get into the game and see how it rolls.
Prepare yourself for battle, heroes.
And here on the left side, in blue, we've got citrus-colored Squash, Mezzos playing Johanna, Hot Like Summer on Brightwing, T3 Cat on Vala, Lamort on Falstad, and Ace playing Blaze. And to the right side, in red, we've got Boogans Forever, Thundercats on Rhaegar, Calvothe on Anubarak, Non-Champion on Li Ming, Izik on Dahaka, and Miller Coffee on Greymane.
Let the battle begin.
Getting into our level 1 here, taking a look at our talents, we've got Created the Hunter from Vala, looking to stack those auto attacks. And in top lane, we've got Boogans going for a quick tower grab, using the beetles from Anubarak to tank the tower and fully leverage the Greymane siege damage potential. CCS able to find them in the rotation. Great stun from Ace. Catches Miller. T3 Cat falling very low here. So a minor siege advantage over to the side of Boogans Forever. We'll see how they look to spread themselves across the map. First objective shown to spawn in the top lane, and 4 seconds from our camps, all of our mercenary camps to spawn. And we have the dog duo in bot right working on the siege camp in a timely fashion, and in the top left, T3 Cat and Hot Like Summer doing the same. One of the two globals for the side of CCS is positioned in bot lane. We've also got Dahaka from Boogans positioned as far as they can be from the wave, or I'm sorry, from the first objective spawn. Both teams now going for their bruiser camps. Boogans a slightly faster camp take there, which may give CCS a preferable defense position under their towers. And in bot lane, we've got Anubarak and Dahaka going in on Lamort, able to barrel roll over the wall, get away, tap well. Back in mid, Mezzos and T3 Cat are able to fend off Miller Coffee and Thundercats and get that objective spawn that we had talked about, or rather that camp positioning that we had talked about. Lots of damage onto Miller Coffee. A vault in secures first blood for CCS. Vala getting the last auto there. And back in bot lane, Lamort has dealt with the siege camp, but not before. But Haka was able to get most of this fort front wall. Checking in on mid, we've got a 3-person stun by Calvada. But with right wing in range, CCS are very comfortable to continue sieging up on this wall, getting down the full fort front wall. Checking in on our Trib spawn, we've got Ace and non-champion in range for any delays. Mezzos stalling the Anubarak rotation here and drawing the phase shift from Brightwing. It's a burrow in from Izek, the polymorph from Hot Like Summer, to give a quick peel. Falstad a little bit later than Dahaka, but gonna get it here in time. Izek narrowly misses that drag and is now taking a lot of damage from T3 Cat, forced to use the Essence. Level 7's a hair earlier for CCS. Ace taking a lot of damage here is not going to make it out alive. Non-champ and Miller Coffee both. Oh, Hot Like Summer taking a lot of damage here. Cleanse used offensively, that purge from Rhaegar. Hot Like Summer also popping the Soothing Mist, and that's going to buy enough space for non-champion to grab first Trib over to the side of Boogans Forever. Of course, in mid, we'd had Lamort pushing out that wave, getting a little value once that objective felt lost. So there is still a small experience lead for CCS. Up in top, Anubarak stalling rotations, use the burrow charge to escape without trouble. And another siege camp grab for the side of Boogans Forever.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
In top, we can see Anubarak looking for Ace here. Non-champion doing what they can to finish off this fort wall. And back in mid, Thundercats taking a lot of damage from T3 Cat and Mezzos here. The vault in is not enough. The interrupt onto the phase shift is going to secure 2 kills, non-champion with that Calamity. And those 2 kills push Boogans Forever ahead to their heroic talents. We've got Ancestral Healing for Rhaegar, Cocoon, Wave of Force, Cursed Bullet, and Dahaka is thinking about it. Level 10 secured for Citrus-Colored Squash. Blessed Shield for Johanna. Blink Heal, Bunker, Gust, and Vala is also thinking about it. Top right, we've got Boogans Forever starting their boss. And we have the Anubarak scouting around the left side boss, checking to see that Citrus-Colored Squash aren't on it yet. This is going to be a big tempo advantage to our red team with a boss pushing and a tribute spawning in a favorable position in the bottom right-hand side. Checking in on top lane, Dahaka does have their Brush Stalker available, so they'll be able to join this objective fight if they so choose. They're going to do just that. Mezzos gets 1 stall and takes the Cocoon. On the top side, Blaze gets another stall. Lots of damage onto Mesos here. That was the fastest I've ever seen a Joe get blown up, I'll be honest. And all the while, in top, the boss grabbed top fort. That is Curse on the side of Boogans Forever. And checking in on that top boss, still above half health. This is going to be a costly objective for Citrus Colored Squash. Boogans Forever doing a great job to get the macro lead even before their objective spawned. Or rather, their Curse Bullet now onto T3 Cat in mid. Miller Coffee and Thundercats pushing away here. We've got Johanna rotating in. T3 Cat gets the vault and phase shift from Johanna, but now we've got Anubarak. Great dodges from T3 Cat get them away from the Anubarak stuns. And in top lane, Izik is pushing as hard as they can into Ace. Checking back in on our mid lane. 10 seconds left in the trib. We'll see how Boogans Forever approach the end of the tribute. That's a stun, double stun now onto Hot Like Summer, and a web onto Vala. Izik gets the drag onto Johanna, and that's a kill onto the Dahaka. A great, wow, so much damage onto Vala there. Non-champion doing a fantastic job on the Li Ming there. Blaze a little further than his team. They're going to survive just fine. And checking in, we've got Lamort starting up that boss. Level 13s on both sides. Experience slightly in favor of Boogans Forever, about a 3/4 lead. They're going to get here, but it might not be in time. Great gust from Lamort secures that boss, but unfortunately, Ace, coming in from the other side of the engagement, meets 5 of Boogans Forever. This is going to give our red team a lot of space to clear this bot boss. And we've got in mid, Mesos and T3 Cat doing their best to fend off the Anubarak and Dahaka. Experience evening out now, 14.5 each. We've got Anubarak working on the Bruiser camp alone. Kalavothe happy to start that up with Rhaegar shortly behind. And on the bot side, we've got non-champion working on the siege camp. Excellent minion camp uptime from these teams. Not surprised to see them so on top of macro at the Div A level. 2/3 of a level away from 16, maybe close to half for Boogans Forever. And it looks like we've got Citrus Colored Squash setting up for a rotational gank. Anubarak does the right thing. Kalavothe able to check and make sure that Mesos was somewhere. One stall there, likely to be able to stall again. And here come the rest of Boogans Forever. A cocoon onto the Vala just to secure that objective cap. Level 16's in the hands of Boogans Forever, about a 1/4 level away for Citrus Colored Squash. And we've got T3 Cat on the Vala working on the Bruiser camp in mid. With talent tier parity just around the corner, that is a Blessed Shield. Stuns now onto Kalavothe. There goes the cleanse. Mesos taking so much damage. A gust from Lamort gets Boogans back into the middle of the team. Ace continuing to chase. Slows out with the oil slick. Another stun onto Izik on the Dahaka. Still has the burrow to survive there. Miller Coffee taking a lot of damage from T3 Cat, but after a lot of ultimates thrown on both sides, Boogans making out alive. this Bruiser camp push is probably the best opportunity CCS have had to get a lot of siege damage done. We'll see if they prioritize that. T3 Cat stepping up very aggressively and almost instantly evaporates. Hot Like Summer dead as well. Looking for 3. Mezzos able to get the unstoppable Iron Skin out, but it's just delayed the inevitable. 3 for nothing by Boogans Forever. You'd never be able to tell that they took a season off there. They look crisp as ever. And with those hero kills, they are headed straight for the top keep. They want to do all they can to get these buildings down. That Mirror Ball from Li Ming really amping up the siege damage that non-champion can do. And with Greymane and Anubarak on this building, it is not long for this world. Still about 10 seconds left before Johanna spawns. And we are once again at curse point for Boogans Forever. Looks like they are not interested in contesting that objective, instead moving towards their boss. CCS are aware of it though. Ace, once again, a little bit ahead of the rest of the team. Dead before the phase shift goes off. Lei is typically a very tanky hero, but not into all of the burst from Boogans Forever. And they understand that this boss is closer to a win condition than the curse. With no keep in top lane, CCS are going to have a lot to deal with. Looks like we've got Kolovode and Izik prepping the wave, prepping the siege camp, doing all they can to get themselves a death push in the top lane. On the bot side of the map, it looks like we've actually got Miller, Coffee, and Thundercats getting onto bot boss. So Boogans Forever taking the slower, more macro-focused play, happy to look for level 20s with this boss push. And a tribute spawning right next to them. A boss and a curse on the horizon. Citrus-colored Squash still a level and a half away from their Storm talents. Level 20 secure on the side of Boogans Forever. And we've got the Farseer's Blessing, Rewind, Talrasha's Elements, Hunter's Blunderbuss, and Dahaka is once again heavily considering. Checking in on the boss, down to about half health now. CCS has done a lot to get as much damage onto it as they can, but without Storm talents, it's going to be a tough defense. Burrow charge in, able to follow up with the rewind. There goes T3 Cat. Ace taking a lot of damage from Miller Coffee here. And boss still about a third HP. This could be all she wrote for the side of our blue team. Citrus-colored Squash going to have to mount a heroic defense. Mezzos using the Blessed Shield just to slow down the siege as much as they can. But with Greymane on the core and this boss, that's going to be it for Game 1. GG and well played to both of our teams. And in the end, for Game 1, it really was all about that crisp engage from the Anubarak. Li Ming and Greymane always there to follow up those stuns. Really well played by them. Taking a look at our stats, we've got most of the damage coming from T3 Cat on that Vala on CCS, and for Boogans, non-champion on that Li Ming, really putting the punishment onto anyone who stepped in front of them. Checking in on our builds, we've got a Hold Your Ground for Johanna, which I think makes a lot of sense into all of the burst damage that Boogans Forever brought to the table. Their Iron Skin was still ripped through at times. And of course that more classic Blink build from non-champion Calamity at level 7, Illusionist at 13. So, GG well played. Excited to see this Division A level of play. And let's go take a look at where our next map will be. Welcome to everyone who joined in the middle of Game 1. Happy to have you here. Be sure to cheer on your favorite team. Let them know that you're here and you're rooting for them. And I will check in with them, see if we've got another lobby up. A little more background information on CCS. They were promoted from Division B last season, where they only dropped 2 maps. Not 2 matches, 2 maps. So in Division B East, they were very dominant all the way through the postseason. They swept all of their opponents in the postseason. Makes a lot of sense for them to have been promoted to Division A. Of course, they have not had as easy a time here in the higher div. Which is understandable. And it looks like we do have our next map up. It's going to be Garden of Terror, selected by Boogans Forever. Another large macro-oriented map, one that rewards the attention to the mercenary camps that we saw out of both teams last game. Might increase the priority of a gray main ban on the side of citrus-colored squash. Miller Coffee playing very well on that hero. I'll be interested to see if we get an equal split on globals this time around for this draft, and how CCS securing first pick changes up their priorities. We could see a Dahaka ban here as well after... It's going to be another Lucio ban. All right. Controlling the globals, always a priority on these larger maps. Really successful play from Ixier. Izik, rather, on the side of Boogans Forever. Hogger ban from them. An excellent hero for the map with how quickly he can secure minion, or I should say mercenary camps on his own. Second ban here for CCS, it's going to be the Falstad. Doing their best to control a little bit of the global priority here. And Anduin is going to be our second ban from the side of Boogans Forever. Not surprising, the cleanse that Anduin brings, that leap of faith, does a lot to shut down the crisp fighting playstyle that we noticed out of Boogans Forever last map. And with one of the globals banned, CCS are going to lock in that Dahaka first pick. Rhaegar and Blaze, the immediate response from Boogans Forever. Both heroes have excellent macro potential. Rhaegar, one of the only supports that can really help out taking mercenary camps and clearing waves. We may see another Brightwing. It's not going to be. It's going to be Diablo and Sylvanas. Both banned away last map, so we'll see if their inclusion in the game shifts the scales in favor of CCS. No healer on the side of citrus-colored squash. We could see one here from Boogans Forever, and that's going to be the Brightwing ban. Not wanting to give citrus-colored squash a double global opportunity, and also Brightwing's just a really good healer. Offers a lot of utility through polymorph, a sizable heal from phase shift, especially if you talent into hyper shift at level 1. That percent-based healing can really help out Diablo. And a new rack ban from citrus-colored squash. Not surprising to see it after how crisp the Boogans engagements were last map. Damage and a second front line likely to be the selection here. And it's going to be Johanna Tychus. Tychus bringing that percent damage to chew through Diablo's mighty health pool. Not a surprising pickup there. Final two picks on the side of CCS. They need a healer and could go for maybe Stukov. So no cleanse through the Stukov. We'll see if they round that out with either a Lunara or another cleanse support. It's going to be the Hanzo. No cleanse available on the side of CCS. Could be challenging to deal with Blessed Shield engages on the side of our red team. Final pick here, likely to be another damage dealer. Perhaps something with a bit longer reach. Maybe a Chromie. And it's, in fact, Chromie. I'm shocked, honestly. Taking a look at our two comps, we do have the global advantage on the side of citrus-colored squash, but we've got a lot of blow-up potential on the side of Boogans Forever. They were really crisp with that style composition last map. I wouldn't be surprised to see them get a success out of the similar style here. But a lot of macro potential through the Dahaka and the Sylvanas on the side of CCS. Root them on if you can. We all want to watch a Game 3 after all. And let's get into our map. Starting on the left here in blue, we've got citrus-colored squash, Hot Like Summer on Stukov, Mesos on Diablo, Ace playing Dahaka, Lamort on Sylvanas, and T3 Cat playing Hanzo. And to the right side in red, we've got Boogans Forever. Thundercats on Rhaegar, Miller Coffee on Tychus, Non-Champion playing Chromie, Calavothe on Johanna, and Izik playing the Blaze. As we get into the first waves of the game, checking in on our level 1 talents, we have Tissue Regeneration from Dahaka, looking to stack up that Essence Collection, and Simple Geometry from the Hanzo, a W build, able to do a lot of damage to mercenary camps after level 4, and perhaps the most damage output build, or the highest damage output build available. First wave clear in favor of Boogans Forever. They're going to split off as quick as they can. And that Time Walker's Pursuit at level 1 from Chromie gives a reveal for Boogans. Checking in on them in bot lane. They're just warding these rotations. Back in mid, we've got Lamort, Mesos, and Hot Like Summer getting a jump on the wave clear. All camps now spawned on the map, and we can see Rhaegar on our top right bruiser camp, joined by Miller Coffee. An early grab here, perhaps looking to leverage as much push out of it as possible before first objective spawns. And mid-left, we've got Lamort and Hot Like Summer getting busy on this siege camp. Transitioning now down to the bruiser camp, and in top we can see Izek bullying Ace a bit, doing all they can to prevent the Dahaka from getting free clear of the objective and the minions. Back in bot, we've got Calavode fighting out with T3 Cat. T3 Cat just here for the minions, trying to stack those stuns. And we've got an invade on the top left. Boogans Forever getting aggressive onto the siege camp of Citrus Colored Squash. I believe this rotation went unscouted, and so that is a slight macro advantage to the side of Boogans now. Checking in on bot, we've got this bruiser camp and Sylvanas with black arrows available. Mezzos doing what they can to peel Calavode off and amplify all of the siege available to them. Level 4s on the side of both teams. We've got the Hero Stalker level 4 from Dahaka. And T3 Cat goes down to the swift rotation of Boogans Forever. Sorry to have missed it, but a decisive engage once again. Thundercats chasing onto Mezzos here. And in top lane, we've got Dahaka continuing to push, equaling out that experience. Speaking of, we have quite a bit more minion experience on the side of Citrus Colored Squash, but of course the hero experience and mercenary experience favors Boogans. Mezzos looking to threaten the rotation of Boogans, slow them down. Level 7's now in the hands of our red team. We've got a full totem build coming out from Rhaegar. Thundercat's taking an aggressive flank onto T3 Cat here. And that's all she wrote for the Hanzo player. Second kill for Boogans Forever. And a lot of siege damage to be had in bot lane. That's a tower going down to Miller and non-champion. Checking back in on top lane, Ace and Izek continuing to duke it out. Level 7s on both sides here. We've got Growing Infestation. Often I see that paired with the low blow talent at level 1 as opposed to reactive ballistospores.
There's my precious seed.
Checking in on our objective, we do have all 5 heroes on the side of Boogans Forever, but that is a lot of stuns onto the Blaze. That is first kill for our blue team. The zoning was worth it, if you ask the Blaze player, of course, because they're able to secure both seeds now on the side of Boogans Forever. Ace getting another drag onto the Johanna player. Back down in mid, we've got Lamort and T3 Cat scouted by Chromie. Started on this siege camp. And a neutral middle spawn for this objective. Mezzos now getting a huge flank onto non-champion. The slowing sands isn't going to be enough to get them out. That is a death onto the Chromie. A kill right before the objective spawns is going to be a boon for Citrus Colored Squash, likely to secure this objective for them. Of course, in top lane, we've got Miller Coffee and Thundercats getting another invade onto the siege camp. So with 3 in top, Ace is in danger here. No Lurker Strain means that they're not going to get a stun. A great drag onto Miller Coffee there. They still have the essence, of course. Well played by Ace to get out of that gank. Checking back in on our seed, we've got Hot Like Summer and T3 Cat collecting the minions. A cheeky stall from Calavode is going to delay just a little bit longer. 10s on both sides. We've got Flailing Swipes, Apocalypse Isolation, Wailing Arrow, and Dragon's Arrow on the side of citrus-colored Squash. And for Boogans Forever, it is Ancestral, Commandeer Odin, Slowing Sands, our Falling Sword, interesting choice from the Johanna player, followed up by Bunker. In top, we've got this Bruiser Camp pushing really hard, a Downtown Arrow, and a Isolation onto Thundercats here. Hot Like Summer rotating in, gets the stun now onto... What a great cleanse! Holy cow! And the Bunker comes down. There goes the Ancestral Healing. Amazing defensive play from Boogans Forever. I was certain that the Apocalypse combo from Mesos was going to secure at least one kill. Heavy ultimate commitment on both sides. Both the Purge and the Falling Sword able to peel and cleanse for Miller Coffee on the Tychus. Really heads up play there.
Shouldn't you be gathering that?
Calavode in range to stall. Gonna get warded off by Ace here. And in bot lane, we've got Ace responding to Izek, who is split pushing. So no global available for the blue team with that Brush Stalker down. Miller Coffee. Of course, Calavode now is falling very low. That's a lot of damage onto the Johanna. Turns it around with a Falling Sword. Stukov below 500 HP. Not going to make it out alive. A Bunker comes down, and that grenade is going to secure the kill onto Hanzo. Mesos finishes off the Black Soulstone, able to sidestep the stun from Izek. And with Bunker eliminated, the red team is having trouble chasing further, looking for more kills. Able to stem the bleeding at just one death. Citrus-colored Squash have about a quarter of a level, maybe just a fifth of a level left before they are on even talent tiers. Level 13. A great stun onto Izek here. No Bunker available for another 30 seconds. Oh, gets the last Shadow Dagger. Lamort secures the kill onto the Blaze. Miller Coffee about half HP. Calavode taking damage here. But that is going to be a objective secured for Boogans Forever. Their Garden Terrors will spawn. Checking in on mid lane, we've got Thundercats ushering his objective minions and camp to the wall. And back in top, we've got Miller Coffee sieging up with the Odin. Mesos gets the flip onto these Falling Swords from Calavode, doing an amazing job to keep their teammates from danger. Mesos doing a great job to find those Apocalypse combos, but Calavode is always there to shut it down. Really well played by them. And a kill for Boogans. Izek securing that one onto Hanzo. Bot fort is going to go down. Mid fort down to about a quarter HP. And checking back in on top, we've got Boogans Forever pushing into top fort. Likely to secure it here with all of the heroes here.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
2 forts secured on their first objective. And in bot left, we can see Citrus-colored Squash getting a siege camp invade of their own. It's not just for Boogans anymore. Still, mid-fort stands for Citrus-colored Squash. That is pretty useful for them. That tap will be accessible for the bot left and top left objective spawns. Calavode, they're going in now. They don't quite have 16s, but Mesos is taking so much damage from the minigun of Tychus. Slowing Sands is going to secure the kill. That is Black Soulstone revive for Mesos on the Diablo. They are back, though much more vulnerable. They'll have to stack those souls back up. 5-hero commitment now. Looking for T3 Cat. The dismount comes in from Calavode. Trying to self-peel with the Dragon's Arrow is not going to be enough. A 5-hero gank secures another staggered kill on the side of Boogans Forever.
Collect the seed, and don't fret about the shamblers.
Level 16's just around the corner for Citrus Colored Squash. They will likely have it for this keep defense. Hanzo about 15 seconds out. Lamort taking a lot of damage from the Titan Grenade of Tychus. And we have talent tier parity for our two teams. Of course, the map is still heavily in Boogans Forever's favor. They've got a lot of vision thanks to all of their minion waves being pushed so far up on the map. And it seems it is likely to be a race to the Storm talent tier now. Boogans Forever a full level ahead of Citrus Colored Squash. We'll see if Boogans looks to invade onto the siege camp. They don't want to invade mid-siege camp, they'd much rather invade top siege camp. It's their favorite siege camp. It's the one that they've taken all game. A dig into top lane from Ace, right into a time trap from Chromie. The arrow goes wide from T3 Cat, a purge onto Izek, drops the bunker, is going to make it out alive. Once again, seeing excellent defensive support play on the side of Boogans Forever. They are happy to let the game move passively at this point. Objectives are not in their favor just yet, but with even seeds now towards spawning a Garden Terror phase and a full level lead, they are happy to play it cool, play it safe. CCS gonna have to get aggressive here if they're gonna get a fight before level 20. We'll see if they look to do that, or if they believe that their defense around their keeps can be stout enough. Very safe vision play from T3 Cat there. Excellent use of the Sonic Arrow. Still 7 stacks away from completing that level 1 quest, the Scatter Arrow Simple Geometry.
It will sprout before you know it.
Level 20s are nearing for Boogans Forever, about 3/4 of a level away from their Storm talents now. And it seems as though Citrus Colored Squash are going to take the more passive approach to the map. Garden Terrors are one of the more defendable objectives. We've got Ace in bot still looking for as much experience as they can grab. Digging in now. Once again into another time trap from Chromie. A great bunker from Izix gets the drag cleansed from them. Big silence arrow onto 2 in the back line. This is a nasty fight for Boogans Forever. CCS really doing a lot to get damage done, but it's Stukov who's first to fall. There goes the Hanzo kill. Mezos looking for a kill onto Izek. Falls themselves. Ace gets another tongue. Level 20's in the hands of Boogans Forever. Joe pops that Blinded by the Light Storm Shield, and Lamort is not going to make it out alive. 4 heroes dead. Potentially 5. Ace looking for stalls as much as they can, but with most of Citrus Colored Squash dead and objectives in the hand of Boogans Forever, I think it is safe to assume that this is a core push looking to end the game. Still 25 seconds before most of our blue team respawns. Let's see if Ace is the man on Dahaka. Able to get a great drag onto Izek under the keep, but with a spell shield and an objective, even Hot Like Summer and T3 Cat's great ult usage might not be enough here. Garden Terror still above half HP, core down to 10%, and that is going to be the game. GG and well played. our red team takes it 2-0. And that is a convincing domination, if I had to say so myself. Boogans looked very crisp on their engagements with the Anubarak, and the cleanse from Rhaegar and Johanna proved to be a little too much for the blow-up potential of that Diablo comp. Really well played by them. Checking in on our post-game stats. We've got a... sorry, I'm just trying to set up an interview here. We had most damage done by Sylvanas, and interestingly enough, Chromie on the side of Boogans Forever. I would have suspected a lot more coming out from Tychus. Checking in on our builds. Nothing out of the ordinary. Collision Course and Thermal Protection from Blaze. Sylvanas going for the Remorseless at level 13. And it looks like we are going to get an interview here. Excellent. Make sure we're all set up for that. Hello, hello. Let me just swap over to our interview scene so everyone can hear ya. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, and thanks for casting us.
Of course, happy to do it. That was a convincing 2-0 in my mind. Talk to me about what comms were like in that first game. Lots of really crisp engagements on the side of you guys. The Anubarak, Li-Ming, Greymane combo is a classic.
It absolutely is, and it is very satisfying to see the red team heroes just explode like that. We coming into this match, we took it very seriously. We did our scouting, our due diligence, and our focus was to get the enemy off of their comfort picks and then play strong macro rotations, like you pointed out. And did you have a particular moment in the game that you wanted to know what the comps were like? Because generally it was just rotate here, take this camp, soak this XP, and do it all over again.
Sure, yeah. I'm not surprised to hear it. Of course, it's a whole game ago now, so I can't remember specific moments.
Me neither, don't worry about it.
Very cool, very cool. The domination, of course, came from both games being decisively in your favor. The map pick of Garden of Terror is not one I am accustomed to seeing, but you guys looked very comfortable on it, taking advantage of the mercenary camp clear and getting aggressive, looking for those left side mercenaries as well. Is that something that you guys are always probing for, checking to make sure that your opponents are staying honest with their macro, or is that something about the comp of Citrus Colored Squash that kind of gave you guys the green light to say, oh, we'll be safe to invade starting at level 1?
Definitely more on the latter side. We, again, tried to draft a very macro-intensive comp. We had, for instance, Rhaegar, both games. Probably the best healer for taking camps and waves really fast. So that enabled us to get a little bit ahead on our rotations, and then we were just observing where the opponents were on the map, and that's what led us to just call that invade on the fly. Delighted that it worked once. Honestly surprised that it worked twice, but hey, I'll take it. And I feel like that, among a couple other things, led us into a good position. We were able to snowball.
Oh yeah, it was very clean. I was so impressed with all of the cleansing on the side of the Johanna and Rhaegar picks. You both performed so well shutting down those APOC combos from Mesos. So
Oh gosh.
just kudos there.
More shout out to Kalavoth than to me. I felt like I had the reaction time of a moist frog that game and the previous one, to be honest. But thank you very much for the compliments.
Oh, absolutely.
It was another audible, if you will, to go Falling Sword instead of Blessed Shield, and we think that it worked out pretty darn well.
Oh, absolutely. I questioned it when it was first locked in, but it got so much value that game. So really well played by Calvode. That's going to do it for questions from me. Before I let you go back and celebrate with the team, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Okay. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you again for picking up the game. It's always a pleasure to be casted. We will be going back and seeing it all new again through your eyes. That's always fun, and we really appreciate it. Big part of the scene.
Happy to do it.
Shout out to our opponents, obviously. We took them really serious, and we didn't take this victory for granted, and hope to see them again later in the season. Shout out to our scrim partners and friendly team who helped warm us up for this match. That was Gen M Unity yesterday and Team Happy Cloud earlier today. I don't know how they did on their match, but I'm cheering for them. And a big thank you to all of our friends and subs and various associates of the team. Probably some of you guys were there cheering us on in chat, and it is always deeply appreciated. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the interview, Thundercats, and have a great time celebrating with the team. See you around.
See you around. Bye-bye.
So a convincing win for our red team. Boogans Forever able to take it in 2 there. You heard it from Thundercats, of course. A heavy emphasis on those macro rotations and taking their opponents very seriously. Respecting your opponent, I think, is probably one of the hallmarks of Nexus, the Nexus gaming series that I cherish the most. Just goes to show how positive we all are towards each other. So a big shout out to all of you out there who do the same. That's going to do it from me. I also want to give a shout out to all of the artists and programmers whose assets I use as part of the stream. I've got credits just below the screen here, and you can stick around after I am gone for a credit roll. Check out their websites. They do a lot of great work. And that is going to do it for me. Thank you all for coming out and watching. Good luck, have fun, peace, and love.